Here's the forge. There's a couple blades I'm about to pull out. I gotta do it quick. Those two are bright red hot. And what I'm doing here is I'm using these big pliers, pulling them out of my forge, sticking them in here, and it should start a fire. This is used motor oil. There you go. It'll cool down in the used motor oil. Another way to check them is to see if they're magnetic. They are magnetic, but I mean that's a very strong magnet, so it should just pick it right up. When these metal blades start losing their magnetism, turn red hot, that's when you know they're ready to drop in the forge. Let them get cherry red hot, but not to the point where they're like sparklers. Once the metal starts burning, you'll actually make the metal more brittle if you leave it in there any longer. So drop them in your forge, pull them out when they're evenly red hot all the way around. When they've lost just about all of their magnetism. If a magnet won't stick to it, or barely nicks on it and lifts off the blade, you know you're good. Once they lose the magnetism, or they're cherry red hot, I like to do it when they're both, you know. Then you just dump them right in the used motor oil, swoosh them around a little bit. Be careful you don't start a fire. A fire other than the one that you know you're going to start by dumping in the oil. And that's it. Once they cool off, it'll be very hard, and they'll be completely forged, and they won't bend up on you when you throw them around. And this axe right here is just about done. And if you see that, it's actually turning to cherry red. Just not complete yet, so I got to throw it back in until the whole thing gets cherry red. If just the tip is cherry red, you'll have a great hard head, but it'll bend right about here, or right here, wherever it doesn't get enough heat. So put your objects, you're throwing items in the fire here. That's mesquite I'm using, that's why it's crackling, that's not the metal. Put them in there until they turn cherry red. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's pretty important. If you don't do it right, you can make your metal more brittle than it was to start with if you burn it up. So get them cherry red, pull them out of the fire, dip them slowly in your motor oil. The motor oil will start a fire, small fire, swish them around. Done. Blades are forged.